We're live together in the same room. Woo! Arizona Cardinals are down 10-7 at halftime against the Green Bay Packers. It could be worse, but there's also Cardinals are down a couple key players. We're going to get into it all right now. It's the Locked On Cardinals podcast halftime show.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Rise up, Red Seeds. Bo Brack, Alex Clancy hanging out with you for the halftime show here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Packers up 10-7, and you got to feel like that's a win. Arizona Cardinals offense not playing very well. They've been on the field for like a couple minutes and some change, Alex.
Yeah.
And then also the Rondell Moore just brain fart where he touched the punt and pretty much put the Packers right on the 3-yard line. They only get 3 points, and that's where we stand right now, 10-7. We're looking at your chat right now. We're interacting. We're talking about this first half. One that we saw, DeAndre Hopkins, Alex, big 55-yard gain, and that's pretty much been it for the Cardinals. Chase Edmonds punched it in, but we're probably not going to see Nook for the rest of the game. No J.J. Watt. Zaven Collins went to the locker room, so the Cardinals down just about as much as the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's officially turned into a game of chess. Both teams have their queens. They no longer have their rooks or their knights or whatever you want to call the second most important, obviously the king, but they're without both their top receivers. Rondell Moore, your parents always catch you with your cookie in the cookie jar. Every time you're undefeated, parents are undefeated. The referee's parents, we saw it was as clear as day that Rondell Moore had touched that ball. Bo and I were talking before we cracked the mics here, and that was the first real potential game-changing blunder for the Cardinals midway through a game. Now, you could say Byron Murphy jumping the route first play of the game against Minnesota. Jacksonville was never really a threat, even though it looked to be at some point before Trevor Lawrence started turning the ball over. But I'm going to go back really quickly to week 1 of 2018. Bo and I were sitting next to each other in the press box when the Washington professional football team came to State Farm Stadium with Alex Smith, new look Adrian Peterson, Sam Bradford under center for the Cardinals, and we saw the Cardinals offense on the field for 5 minutes in the first half. Not the same exact situation now. Cardinals were on the field for under 10 minutes. You can't win a game, especially against an all-pro quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, when you're on the field for that long offensively.
Yeah, and the defense has been playing really well. I mean, we're curious what they were going to look like without J.J. Watt, and they've been solid. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 10 for 21 in this game. He's having a tough time moving the football. Outside of Aaron Jones showing just an incredible feat of strength, taking on Isaiah Simmons, who was 2 for 2 and shutting down Derrick Henry and Trey Lance before that. Aaron Jones punches it in. But, it's been an impressive defensive effort from the Arizona Cardinals, but also equally impressive from the Green Bay Packers. You just got to – the Arizona Cardinals won the coin toss. They're going to get the ball in the second half. It's going to be important for Cliff Kingsbury to have something dialed up here as far as what the offense is going to have scripted and how they're going to attack this Green Bay Packers defense. They need a big boost offensively. People are going to have to step up. Rondell Moore, A.J. Green, Christian Kirk especially, those receivers need to step up in the absence of Nuke.
Yeah, if anybody want to ask how important DeAndre Hopkins is to this offense ever again, mute yourself. Just watch the first half. Now, there are a couple of things that are still true. Let me ask, is Rondell Moore still fast?
Yeah, no doubt.
He is. Okay. Is Christian Kirk still fast?
Yeah, you just got to get him north and south.
Can A.J. Green be the wide receiver 2/wide receiver 1A as a substitute teacher for a half of football against a defense without their number one corner? These are things that are going to have to happen because for the Cardinals, unlike other teams, you establish the pass to set up the run because the run is the silent killer. You go up a score, James Conner takes over. You go up a score, Chase Edmonds takes over. We're going to need to see a pulse, even though Max Garcia is out. Rodney Hudson's out. Look at Russell Wilson. Okay, Russell Wilson hasn't had an offensive line in almost a decade, and they win 10 games a year. There are ways to circumvent injuries across, a roster on game day, and the Cardinals just going to have to do it. You know what? This is what great teams do. You win a game at home on national TV against a team that's been a perennial 10, 12, 13 win team. You just got to do it. That's what good teams do, is you win these games.
There just hasn't been a lot of opportunity. I mean, it's either been the Green Bay Packers just slowly moving the ball down the field and really not doing too much with that, And then the Arizona Cardinals offense just having quick 3-and-outs. But as far as first downs are concerned, total plays, it's 41-17. Green Bay to the Arizona Cardinals. And they look good on the one drive where Chase Edmonds had the score. And what's as crazy as all this seems is at the end of the day, they go out in their first drive in the second half and they score a touchdown. They're up 14-10. And that's it. And the Green Bay hasn't really shown anything that has me believing, better look out. This is going to be turned into a shootout. I don't know. It's been a defensive struggle. It's more reminiscent of the 49ers game than any of the other contests the Arizona Cardinals have played this season.
Yep, it's true. I mean, anybody that took the over is crying right now.
Keeping way to 51.
Yeah, keeping them to 3 points after the turnover was obviously. I mean, we're saying a bunch of things that you saw yourself, but keeping them to 3 is what an adult defense does. That's what an adult defense does. First and goal from the 3 after a turnover, the momentum is completely shift. It sounds like Green Bay West at State Farm Stadium. That's a whole other conversation for a different day. But you hold them to 3. Obviously, Devontae Adams is the only guy he throws to in the red zone is out. But man, when you take that, you take 10-7. If you look at the box score right now, the Cardinals, I would guess, would be down 21-10, 21-7, a game that's nearly out of reach, even though they're getting the ball in the second half. So it's the best of all evils right now.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 64 yards passing. I've already mentioned that. Aaron Jones is not moving the ball well on the ground. The defense is falling out right now. Without J.J. Watt, they're getting the pressure that they need to get. Aaron Rodgers is just getting the ball out quick. Well, he's kind of just conceding, making any big plays downfield. Got to imagine that's going to happen in the second half. He's going to be aggressive at some point and try to get the ball down the field. Who the hell is going to be on the opposite end of that? I have no idea. He doesn't have any receivers. He had Oprah Winfrey out there making plays for him. I don't even know who that guy is. Amari Rodgers is somebody they've got the ball in his hands a couple times, but it hasn't turned into a big play. And Randall Cobb looks like, he's over 30 years old. It's not the A.J. Green career resurgence just yet. Arizona Cardinals offense, it's what we've been preaching all season long. All it has to come down to is them to show up. If they can show up, this game can be put away with a couple drives in the second half. Defense is playing really well against an undermanned Green Bay offense. Yeah,
I mean, the Cardinals are 1-for-1 taking a shot down the field. So you'd think even with DeAndre Hopkins out, like what I would look at here, if I were Cliffy baby, I would say, you know what? Kyler, get us to the 20-yard, get us to the red zone.
Yeah.
And then see if DeAndre Hopkins can turn around and catch a ball. You don't want him to have to threaten a hamstring tear or anything like that. You'll have him out for an extended period of time. Even if you have to sit him tonight, they have a glorious 10 days between now and the next game. Yeah. So even though it's DeAndre Hopkins, even though it's the Green Bay Packers, it's just one game. You don't want to ruin the whole season for one game on national television. The people aren't going to remember at the end of the season. It's just going to be another win or loss.
But this is an opportunity when we talk about going into the season where Cliff Kingsbury needs to prove to the rest of the NFL, to the Arizona Cardinals fan base, that he belongs. Him going into the locker room and coming back out, it's the adjustments that he's going to make or not make that are going to really kind of either keep the perception that he has or change it of Cliff Kingsbury. It's going to be key for the offense to get enough because the defense has done their job once again. For what? Outside of the Minnesota Vikings game, I mean, you can't point to a game where they haven't gotten the job done and they continue to do so.
Don't make me put another moratorium on Cliff Kingsbury and talking about him.
Does this defense, I mean, has it gotten to the point right now where this defense has to make a big play, like including, it's probably not going to be a pick of Aaron Rodgers, but is it going to be a scoop and score kind of situation that they're going to have to create because the offense has just been quiet tonight?
I mean, the rush defense is getting a B- in the first half. Above passing, fine, but not exemplary. Yeah. My life as a student. I know when I see it. I know when I see a B-, and this has been a B-. A.J. Dillon is an absolute monster. We talked to Peter Bukowski on our crossover edition that aired earlier today. Him and Aaron Jones may be, second or third to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, the best running back duo in the NFL. You just don't know who A.J. Dillon is because he's a silent killer. You know who he is now because he's running up that A-gap. They're not even pretending. Yeah. I'm going to give you this ball. You're going to run straight, and you're going to run over that nose tackle. And they've done it with some success. I don't know why they didn't run the ball in the goal line when they got the ball after the Rondale Moore touchdown, or the Rondale Moore turnover. But they need to stop the run as much as they need to stop the pass because the runs is what's been killing them.
Yeah, I mean, what they really need, it's going to come down to, they're missing Rodney Hudson. They're missing J.J. Watt. David Collins stepped out. He hasn't made his impact so far as a rookie yet. But DeAndre Hopkins is proving to be the biggest loss thus far. And they're just going to have those other three receivers step up. Do you lean on the run game a little bit here? Do you maybe lean on James Conner or Chase Edmonds to maybe find some?
I think it's a good choice. I think it's James Conner. Yeah. I mean, I think that Chase Edmonds can really only be effective when you see the other side first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he is the change of pace guy. Even if he's RB1 light, you need to establish. You need to get first downs. They only have five first downs in the first half.
Yeah.
The majority of them were on one drive.
Yeah.
You know, you need to keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline twiddling his thumbs, because you know what he is right now? He's cold coming out of halftime. If you can sustain a 7-minute drive right now and score a touchdown, it'd be a gut punch to the Packers.
Be huge. It'd be huge for the Arizona Cardinals. Keep hitting us up during the game on Twitter at Lockdown AZCards, at Clancy's Corner. Follow Alex. Follow me at Bob Brack, BOBRECK, Bo Brock. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the halftime show. Record numbers, man. Big number this time. It's been great. Thanks for tuning in.
It's my couch.
Chatting with us. Yeah, it's weird being in the same room.
Yeah, you smell.
We're just right down the street from where Christian Kirk and Byron Murphy played high school football.
Sure.
Let's see if those guys, either of them, can come up with a big play in the second half. We'll talk to you guys in the post-game podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Locked On Cardinals, part of your Locked On Podcast Network.